today we'll see very important part, and it is the allotropes of group 14. Now we'll see allotropes. Allotropes of group 14. So first I am going to explain what is an allotrope. So children, allotropes are different forms of an element. They are different forms, different types of substances of an element having same chemical properties but physical properties are different. So allotrope is defined as different forms of an element. They are different forms of element. They are allotropes are different forms of an element. They are different forms of an element. They are elements of different forms, substances. They are of an element, different forms of an element having same chemical properties, but physical properties. Their physical properties are different. Like children know, P block elements, they have very important property of allotropy, and they form different allotropes. Most of the members of this group and this block, they form allotropes of different type, So children, any allotrope will differ completely in terms of physical aspect, but chemically they will be similar. We'll see later on. Now other point I am going to explain allotropy. So children, actually allotropy is the property, it is the tendency, it is the property of formation of allotrope. So allotropy, it is defined as the property of an element, to form different forms having similarity in chemical features, while physically are different. So this is allotropy. So children, actually allotropy is a function. It is a way of forming allotropes. Allotropy is a way of forming allotropes. It is nothing else. Allotropy is a way of forming allotropes. It is a way of forming allotropes. Now, many elements forms allotrope, children, and here we have to see in group 14. So in group 14, children, Carbon is most important element. Carbon is most important element which exhibits allotropy. Carbon is most suitable elements which forms the so number of allotropes. Now I am going to explain about the very important part, allotropes of carbon. So children, carbon has ability to form allotropes and are as under. You all know the allotropes of carbon. First is diamond, second graphite, and third is fullerenes. Diamond is first, graphite is second, and fullerenes are third. Now these two, diamond and graphite, they are natural. They are natural allotropes. They are natural allotropes. But this fullerenes, it is synthetic. It is synthetic allotrope. We'll see one by one in detail. So, first I am going to explain about diamond. So children, in diamond, each carbon is sp3 hybridized. Each carbon is sp3 hybridized. This is very important point. Each carbon atom is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized means every carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. One carbon is bonded to, 4 nearby atoms. If you see one carbon, so here there is one carbon, here there is one carbon, so 3. Now this fourth will be here. If we see how they are arranged, so see these my 3 fingers, and if I put this fourth one like this here, so this forms a tetrahedral. This type of structure is called as tetrahedral. Now this is the tetrahedral structure, children. This is tetrahedron. In any case, the bonds are similar. If one is up, 3 are down. This is 1, 3 are down. If it is 1, 3 are down. If it is there, so this is called as tetrahedral structure. 1, 3. Completely, this type of a structure is called as tetrahedral structure, and this is called as tetrahedron. All the bonds are of same type, they are covalent. Bond lengths are similar. This is one point. So, this is the simplest point to note. Now see, again this carbon will be bonded like this. If you take this, the one carbon will attach to 3 nearby. If you take this like this, so if you take this, see the complexity, how they are going to be complex. So children, this is the reason that carbon is the hardest known material in the universe. Carbon, this is the reason that carbon is the hardest known material in the universe. Due to this reason, due to very small size of carbon, carbon has very small size, the electronegativity of carbon is suitable, and third is the catenation. Once again I am repeating, size of carbon is very small, it has tendency of catenation, and the carbon is able to form very strong bond within themselves. So see here, if one carbon will be going on, so it will be totally intermingled. Totally all the atoms of the carbon, they will intermingle between themselves, and as a result, diamond is the hardest known material. This is the reason why diamond is the hardest known material. Now the properties, children, other properties. So due to this, it is hardest substance. Due to complete intermingling of the atoms. Now second, it is bad conductor of current. It is bad conductor. Why bad conductor? Because all the 4 electrons have been consumed. All the 4 electrons have been consumed in the process. And so no electron is left, children. No electron is left. All the 4 electrons present in an atom, they have been consumed. How? Carbon, atomic number 6, configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So see here, 2s electrons, 2p electrons, they are consumed. So no electrons left. So hardest known substance, it is bad connector. Why bad connector? Because no free electron is present, and free electron is responsible which allows the flow of current. Electrons are able to provide only the conduction, or they help in the conduction of current only when they are free. If they are bonded, so there will be no case. Like metals. Why metals are good connectors? In most of the cases, because metals have excess of free electrons. You have read in your junior classes, metals have metallic bonding. So this is very important part to note. Now diamond, it is converted into CO2 on burning. So on burning, it forms CO2. So this is about the diamond. Now children, I am going to explain about the graphite. So graphite is the second allotrope of carbon, and in graphite there is sp2 hybridization. Every carbon is bonded by sp2 hybridization. It means one carbon is bonded to 3 nearby atoms. Like this one carbon, and like this. If you say, see here how they are attached. See the symmetrical distribution. How they are bonded. So each and every carbon, children, it is bonded to 3 nearby atoms. This is the bonding. Each and every carbon is bonded to 3. So children, this is first layer. This is top layer. So the carbon atoms forms layers in graphite. This is one layer. Now below this we have this carbon, So each and every carbon, children, is bonded in a particular manner like this. This is, children, second layer. So adjacent layers are present one over each other, and the different layers, they are held together by van der Waals attractive forces. These dotted lines, children, dotted lines are van der Waals forces. These are van der Waals forces. You all must know. These are van der Waals forces, and due to van der Waals forces, there is very poor attractive forces. You all must know. Van der Waals forces are nothing but very poor attractive forces, and as a result, the graphite is very soft. You all must be knowing. Due to the presence of these van der Waals forces, the layers can slide over each other. Due to van der Waals forces, the different layers can slide over each other. Like, as you know, the pencil lids, the lids of pencil are very soft. They are slippery to touch. Why? Because of this reason only. The layers can slide over each other, as the layers are held together by van der Waals attractive forces. So, coming to properties of graphite. So first, it is good conductor of current. Why? Because each and every carbon has one free electron. One free electron is present, and as a result, graphite is good conductor of current. And you all must be knowing that dry cells or pencil cells or the batteries which are used in torches, transistors, they are having, you all must be knowing, black colored electrode in the center. That is nothing but that is graphite. Graphite is also used in the making of pencils which are used, it is there. So it is good conductor of current. Then it is soft due to very poor bonding, very poor bonding between the different layers, and layers can slide, they can be broken. It is slippery to touch. Why it is slippery to touch? Because layers can slide over each other, and so it is slippery to touch. And so this is about the graphite. Now, children, I am going to explain about the fullerenes. So, children, fullerenes, as you know, they are the synthetic allotropes of carbon, and fullerenes are also called as Buckminster fullerenes. Actually, Buckminster is the name of a person who owns one of the biggest construction company in the world. The person is from US, and so in his honor, actually his name is Buckminster Fuller. The person's name is Buckminster Fuller. So in his honor, the allotrope was called Buckminster Fullerene. So children, fullerenes are a group of compounds made up of pure carbon, and they contain a group of carbon. They contain group of carbon atoms from 50 to 300. This is first point. Group of carbon atoms from 50 to 300. But group of 60 atoms are in maximum amount, or C60 dominates. C60 dominates in the group or family. Actually, it is a very huge family made up of different group of atoms. It starts from around 50. It can be up to 300. You can imagine, children, in one group 300 atoms. So it is very huge. And as a result, it is also called as buckyball. It is very huge ball. So in C60 molecules, carbon atoms are present in different groups. The carbon atoms are present in different groups. Some carbon atoms are attached by nearby 4 atoms. Some carbons are attached by nearby 5 atoms. And so they give rise very complex structure. Now children, you must know that these fullerenes are even most pure than the diamond, because they are prepared by artificial method. Now I am going to explain how they are made. So in this, first the graphite, how they are made. Graphite, it is evaporated. It is evaporated by laser beam. Now as a result, we get the carbon gas. It is converted into gas. Laser at very high intensity. Then these gases are absorbed in suitable solvent like benzene. Then there is formation of C60, or there is the fullerenes. There is, on passing the vapors into suitable solvent, there is condensation. So on passing the vapors of carbon, there is condensation. Into groups from 50 to 300. So this is very much significant to note. And so this is the brief introduction about the electrons of carbon.